Welcome to Future Think Labs, where we decode the trends shaping tomorrow. Today, we're tackling two absolute giants of the market, NVIDIA and Bitcoin. We're going to look at the incredible shift that could drive NVIDIA's next massive wave of growth, and then we'll pivot to the wild, sentiment-driven world of crypto. All right, let's just dive right in. You look at NVIDIA, it's already one of the most valuable companies on the planet. So the question on everyone's mind is, how does it get even bigger from here? Is there really a path for it to potentially double again? The answer is, well, it's pretty fascinating, and it's probably not what you think.
See, the key isn't just about, cranking out more and more of the chips we all hear about. The real engine for its future growth, the secret sauce, comes from a fundamental change in what NVIDIA is actually selling. They are completely changing the game by changing who they are.
And that gets us to the heart of it. NVIDIA has evolved. You have to stop thinking of them as just a chip company. That's the old way. Now they're a full-blown AI systems company. They've gone from selling you the parts to delivering the entire ready-to-go supercomputer. So let's really break this down, because it's a huge deal. In the old days, you'd buy a bunch of GPUs from NVIDIA, and then your team of brilliant, expensive engineers would have to figure out how to piece it all together. Now, NVIDIA sells you a complete system, a pre-built supercomputer with 72 GPUs all working together perfectly right out of the box. They're not just selling you the engine anymore. They're selling you the entire Formula One race car. And this is straight out of the Apple playbook, isn't it? Think about it. Apple dominates because they control the hardware, the iPhone, and the software, iOS. It's a closed ecosystem. NVIDIA is building that same kind of fortress for AI, where their hardware and software work together so well that it creates this massive, almost unbeatable competitive advantage. Of course, a huge transformation like this doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It's being supercharged by a frantic, high-stakes spending spree from the biggest tech companies in the world. And to really get the scale of this, you have to realize this isn't just an NVIDIA story. It's a story about their customers. I mean, look at this number, $25 billion. That's what a single company, Meta, is spending on AI in a single quarter. This isn't just a trend. It's a flat-out AI arms race, and nobody can afford to be left behind. And they're spending this kind of crazy money for two reasons: offense and defense. They're trying to build these digital fortresses to protect their existing businesses, making their ad platforms smarter, their products stickier. But they're also trying to streamline their own companies, using AI to do work that engineers used to do. It's a sprint to get ahead and a desperate scramble not to fall behind. And this is the prize their eyes are on. This is what all that money buys. We are not talking about a small incremental upgrade. We're talking about jumping from a system that integrates 8 GPUs to one that seamlessly connects 72. That's an exponential leap in power, and it unlocks incredible new capabilities. And right now, NVIDIA is the only place you can get it. But there's a catch. This incredible growth is creating an equally massive problem, and that problem also just happens to be the next huge opportunity. All of this computing power needs a mind-boggling amount of energy. So get this, the next generation of GPUs, they're going to need 3 to 5 times more power than the ones today. And by 2030, a single AI system could demand a full megawatt of power. That's a 10x increase. Our electric grid, it just wasn't built for this. It's not ready. And that brings us to this simple but terrifying question. What good is a $3 million AI supercomputer if you can't plug it in? It's worthless, right? And that's the huge bottleneck that big tech is staring down. All of a sudden, energy infrastructure has become one of the most critical, most important parts of the entire AI revolution. So we've been talking about the physical world, silicon, racks, power grids. Now let's completely switch gears and jump into a universe that is purely digital, a frontier that plays by a completely different set of rules. Let's talk about Bitcoin. So the first thing you have to understand about crypto is you need to throw out your old finance textbook. Seriously, there are no earnings reports, no PE ratios, none of that. Bitcoin is a sentiment-driven asset. Its value moves based on market psychology, on momentum, on human emotion. It's a completely different animal. And because it's so driven by emotion, it is incredibly volatile. I mean, we're talking about the potential for 60% drops. So that buy and hold forever mentality, it can be really dangerous here. You need a much more disciplined strategy. You have to set price targets way ahead of time, actually take profits when you hit them, and plan to reinvest when you get those inevitable pullbacks. It's all about managing risk. So, based on that kind of technical, sentiment-focused approach, here are a couple of key levels people are watching. The analysis suggests we could see a near-term top form somewhere around the $130,000 mark. That could be a logical place to trim a position. Looking further out, some models are pointing to a cycle top way up in the $200,000 range. So, this leaves us with a final big thought to chew on. We've looked at these three massive, interconnected ideas: the company building the machines, the incredible amount of energy needed to power them, and this parallel digital world of crypto. The huge question for the next decade is, where will the biggest fortunes really be made? Thanks for joining us here at Future Think Labs. Make sure you subscribe to keep decoding what's next.